We're doing live. Hello, we're here. Are we live? Yes. Hold on. Are we live? I think we are. Okay. I'm Boomerang. Hi, everybody. This is Brune. What day is it? It's Wednesday. It is. Yeah, it's last minute, folks. Sorry. Touch and go this evening, but we're here. Hi, everybody. Wednesday, 16th of April, 2025, in the year of our Lord. I am Brune. Let's get the guests out. Okay, first up, it is, from this side of the pond, it is the Daredevil Helpdesk.
Hello, it's me.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. It's me, my superhero garb, the Daredevil Helpdesk.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no eyes, so see what I did there.
Sounds a little hot. God.
We just went through this. Okay.
Hey, just turn it down a bit.
Yeah, I'll just move it further away from my face.
It's because you get excited. Everybody shouts when they go.
I do.
I know.
I'm happy to be
nerves, isn't it? It's just nerves.
I'm happy to be here. Should we get another guest out?
I think that's a very good idea. It's great to have you on, my friend. Shall we get another guest on then? Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Isn't it nice seeing people turn up for this shite? Evening chat. Okay. Stepping in at the last moments, he's been a good egg these last couple of weeks. All hail Emperor Goodwin.
Oh, I thought it was going to be shitty.
Not this week. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't, buddy.
I'm doing good. Blessedly not watching Daredevil because I knew it was going to be shit, and stunningly it was shit. But other things have been going on that are good, like Mobland, which I'm going to talk about a bit. That's some good stuff.
How good is Mobland? Have you up to date then?
Yeah.
Good lad.
It's
great, isn't it?
Yeah. You got me into it. I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And then I tried. I was like, oh no, that's fine. Let's go.
It is possible, even in the year of our Lord 2025, to have television that doesn't lecture.
Yeah, and that is actually competently shot and competently written and has good characters and good acting.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is great to have you on, my friend. Shall we get the last body on?
Absolutely. I hope it's Greta.
How dare you? I was going to go, not this week. Then I realised that's, how dare you? You mean multi-millionaire Greta?
Yes.
Have you noticed how she wasn't piping up yesterday about the carbon footprint of Katy Perry and co?
No. She was probably cosplaying being arrested somewhere.
I'd set up a GoFundMe to shoot Greta into space. I think that'd do well.
As long as there's no return trip. Yeah.
One way.
Yeah.
Let's get the next peep on. Okay. And last but by no Meggie this week. And last but by no means least. In fact, tell you what, I'll go, off. Guess who, folks? No, not this week. I'll give you a clue. It's shit. Istaphobos.
How dare you?
Oh, mate, how you doing?
I thought I was the good egg. Man, I was so disappointed.
All good eggs. All good eggs today. All good eggs. How you doing, friend?
I've got some numbers on rocket pollution. I think we should touch on that a bit later on.
The Blue Origin.
Yes. I noticed Greta should be kicking up a storm, but she's been very, very quiet.
I
just love how you can take all of the feminine divine and girl boss and you shove them in a rocket and it still looks like a dick.
Well, I don't know what Katy Perry was on when she was interviewed.
What
I was thinking?
Ayahuasca.
Yeah, what have you been smoking, love?
What have you got?
Well, if they acknowledge the feminine divine, they're going to have to admit that men and women are different. Just like the UK Supreme Court just did.
Yes. Guess what, folks? Guess what? We finally found out what a woman is.
Apparently, anyone who's a man is a man, and anyone who's a woman is a woman.
What?
I know. We needed a court to tell us that.
Well, I mean, we had a Supreme Court nominee who could not tell us what a woman was because she's not a biologist.
Women are the ones that have to retire from Brazzers when they're 28.
Oh, okay.
But what a career they had.
Oh, indeed. That's you want a good Captain Marvel movie? Go look at that one. Go watch that one.
I prefer the Catwoman ones on the.
Oh yeah, the what's his name?
What's it? No,
Axel Braun.
No, Christina Carter.
No. Axel Braun is the director.
Do they make?
Oh, him. Oh, yes,
parodies.
him. Yes.
Axel Braun.
Yeah,
Do they make German razors
Um,
and toothpastes, toothbrushes?
I get very nervous anytime the subject of adult movies has come up and somebody mentions German.
No, we
So,
don't need to Scheisse. No Scheisse.
No.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
No, Axel Braun does all of the parodies, like the Happy Days XXX. This is not Captain Marvel. Those kind of.
Yeah, it's German tastes are too discerning for this child. To be honest.
It's definitely light and breezy West Coast adult sensibilities, but the Captain Marvel movie is really literally better than the one that Marvel put out.
Really?
Is he the one who did the really good Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh yeah. Those things have a budget of like a couple million.
It was really good.
Yeah.
The ornographic versions.
Yes, surprisingly, it had a plot and it was better than the last Pirates movie.
Yeah, I prefer to say movies with adult sensibilities. We're not Philistines here. Well, some of us are Philistines. Look at the chat, but
Romanian.
I'm just happy that Amelia supports me. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Amelia Bedelia. Hello, Amelia. Amelia's got class. Reg.
Yeah, why hasn't she
too?
Come on.
Yeah, Amelia, why haven't you ever decided you want to come on here? We need more biological females. That's the buzzword, isn't it? Biological.
We need more women, not just guys that throw like women, such as myself.
Oh, sorry. Sword and Storm, get on with it. I thought we were getting on with it. There's nothing to get on with, unfortunately.
Are you really in that much of a rush to hit Daredevil? Really?
Well, there's only you and I who've seen it, so it's going to be 50% of the panel are going to be bored shitless.
Hey, I watched some of it.
As well as the chat.
No, 100% of the panel is still going to be bored shitless.
Okay, so I thought we were doing okay then, but okay. What do you want to do then? Free riff it for a bit?
Sure.
Continue
shall we
to
just
harass
tell you what, I've got an idea. We'll just sit here and we'll let Sword in the Storm type an active review. We'll just sit and let Sword.
Well, I think he already did.
It was very concise.
Yeah. That's the kind of praise that could become a tagline for somebody.
Here we go. Yes. Yeah. Where's he when we need him? It was shit.
Yeah. That'd look good on a t-shirt.
Here you go. Guys, if anybody's in the chat who's watched Daredevil, throw your thoughts. If I see the comment, we'll throw it up and discuss. Here we go. Brenny, hello Brenny Newman. Yeah, this is where I thought straight away. The 1 year flashback at the start made me feel tired straight away. I thought, oh God, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no.
Exactly like I couldn't have said it better. That was exactly my feel. I'm watching it. I see 1 year ago, and I'm like,
here we go.
Maybe somebody text me.
The storytelling is so bad they have to do a throwback just to go, look, this is why we're doing this.
Yeah, flashbacks are always the key indicator of brilliant writing.
Can I just quickly add in, Brenny Newman is actually Fat Lobber, but he's stuck in Europe at the moment.
Oh, cool.
Oh, is he?
Hello, Lobber.
Nice.
Brenny Newman.
I do have a question I'd like chat to help me out with. So,
yeah, go on, chat. Yeah, earn your money. Come on.
So we have Cuckpin from Daredevil and his wife Queen Pin. but I need a name for Kingpin from the Echo show. So we have Cuckpin and Queenpin and
King Peg.
Pegged. King pegged.
King Pegged. Yeah.
That. I mean, technically she didn't peg him, but she.
Well, she had a
Peg
peg
him as a
leg,
child.
and
Oh God, yes, she did, didn't she?
He died, didn't he?
Suckpin. I like that.
Well, how did he come back? I don't get. Silent Stormwrench. Everyone in this show is dumb as. When the Punisher just walked up to a bunch of armed enemies instead of attacking from a distance.
Yeah, let's just say the Punisher is supposed to be a master of tactical thinking and planning, and they just, well, you know, that's typical Disney. They have to press the retarmbled button whenever a character has to move the plot forward, because if they acted like a human being, other writers wouldn't know what to do.
well, I think as usual, you know, I mean, the Punisher would have done that kind of thing, but he was critically hampered by the stupidity of the writers. This was as tactical as they could come up with.
Boosh,
How many-
Fathom Wrench? The answer is 42, which we all know what the answer is, don't we?
The answer to life, the universe, and everything.
How many times?
Deadpin.
Yeah.
How many times are we watching these shows and somebody with a ranged weapon closes the distance to the person they're attacking so they can swing and hit them over the head with?
Stop pin.
It's purely because
King Prick.
doing kung fu just looks better on screen,
Karate.
and it's easier to cover
Pin.
all of the things with just cuts where it goes wrong.
Pincushion.
Hellgast, I'm not talking about, you know, general patent
Crypin.
level strategies here. This is just, you know, a 5-year-old figures out that when they're playing war with sticks.
Yeah.
Well,
Stuff
these never played
Badfoot,
war.
that's good. Safety pin, that Badfoot, that's excellent.
Safety pin is
Safety pin.
excellent. Yeah.
There you go. Bob Smith, 9866. Favorite part of Daredevil this week was Rick saying, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
That's right. Then he told Foggy, "Look, you played it for her, you play it for me."
Just one
I
more
think
time.
Hellgast has a excellent commentary. Right there at the bottom.
Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. What about Kingpin from the Shy Talk show?
Now he could be Deadpin or
Quinn
Pin.
Pin.
Ooh, Minge Pin. I love that word.
Split Pin.
Minge Pin.
Drew Gordon, here we go. The mid-credit scene was the dumbest part. Yeah, shake the hand of a killer in a cage. That'll work just fine. Yep.
There was a mid-credit scene. I'm not kidding. I turned it off.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it.
Whose comment am I going to?
Oh, Hellgast.
This one.
1019. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, these writers didn't play war; they played dress up.
Yep.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
Because as I said, I've not watched any of the other seasons.
No.
And half the stuff that's going on, I haven't a clue what's going on.
No, you need to go watch the Netflix Daredevil.
It's very different.
Well, I can say one thing for certain, that not a single person associated with that show has ever been in the military or even the reserves or military school for that matter.
Okay.
Probably never even been in a fight.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No, I get that.
It was
No. I think Helpdesk is right that there was such a concerted effort to remove any kind of, you know, like how males tend to solve things, which is maybe a bit of a punch up out on the playground, because we've had enough of that. And so all of that was removed. So now you have a generation that's never had a bloody nose, never thrown a punch.
Georgius Rex, is it as bad as this poster?
This makes my eyes hurt less.
It looks like Daniel LaRusso.
Oh, kind of.
I don't know what they were aiming for with this poster, because it just looks. It
What
looks
was the-
arty-farty.
Is that
what was
Bullseye?
what was the '60s TV show that used to do like the the
Oh,
intros like
all
this
of
and would have the bars come down and then switch. And
Yeah, that was all over the place. Things like Dallas, Randall and Hopkirk, I think, did it. The Persuaders,
Charlie's Angels, right?
Charlie's Angels, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like Krychek from the X-Files, aka Rat Boy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
C64 graphics.
Yeah.
No, there's not enough flicker and chroma crawl, but
I posted a picture of Bullseye today on my Twitter. It just I'm going to send it to you, Brown. It just looks so much cooler, than what we're getting.
Okay, I want dwindling subs.
On past 4,000, everyone.
Ouch, man.
I think I'll leave that on.
well done. Well done, sir.
Very good.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Still here though. Just
Yeah. Oh, that's a. I think it's an Axel Braun movie.
dwindling subs. That's what we did there. Charlie. Yeah.
Oh, I love that series. I have the first 5 on Blu-ray.
Yeah, the fifth one kind of let me down a bit. They promised all, but it didn't happen. That was
yeah. I think dwindling subs does win the internet today.
Yeah.
Yes, well done, mate. Congratulations.
You're not winning me.
Okay, so
Oh, you didn't see the contract. Oh, I'm sorry.
are we wanting to talk about this? We're just going to.
I actually have less to say about it than the others, but I do have a few things if you want to go over.
Okay.
It.
Okay.
Including,
Then
the
we'll move
big memeable moment, which I'm sure they were all pinning their hopes on making such a big splash.
Which was?
Spoilers? Are we in spoilers?
No, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
When Kingpin rips the guy's head off and they show his jaw tearing off.
I did like that. That was a nice effect. Nice bit of makeup.
Yeah. It's from a filmmaking standpoint, it was quite cool. But from a dramatic standpoint, they were just trying to copy the season 1 scene where he smashes the guy's head in, and from a dramatic, emotional, impactful standpoint, the season 1, this was just more graphic, but it was not more impactful.
If he was this cruel and this brutal to rip someone's head in half, basically, why didn't they do that at the start to set him up as a character? He's going for this whole, I don't do bad stuff, I'm going to be the mayor and outlaw all this stuff, and behind the scenes he's still annihilating people like that, because that would have actually been a nice character arc.
And why didn't he do it to his wife's boyfriend?
Yeah, exactly. No, because he had to go to therapy, because therapy matters.
Yeah, she's the worst therapist on the planet too, by the way.
She works for Kingpin now, doesn't she?
I think she works for the NHS.
Easy.
Nobody works for that. Stop it.
I'm just going by what Amy Gallagher's tweeted. It seems like, okay.
But this whole last episode, it just seemed like the only reason it existed is to act as a setup for the next season.
Which hopefully will be better.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that the promise initially was, okay, so we know that episodes like 2 through 7 were done by the prior administration. But we're definitely going to make it up at the end. And then you get to the end and you're like, this is actually in many ways worse. Congratulations. But no, we're going to get better eventually. It was like, no, I don't care. I'm not watching it. And I don't think you're going to get a second season.
Yeah.
I'm not watching season 2.
And the other thing, I mean, haven't we had to tell ourselves that with every single episode, it's setting up something better, I'm tired of Lucy yanking the football, man. This is the other thing. Oh no, go ahead.
No, go on. Okay, go on.
This felt very comic booky, not in the good way, but in this is what a 12-year-old idea of how government works. This is what a 12-year-old's idea.
Oh, you mean like Labour?
Yeah,
the
martial
UK.
martial
did that?
law,
Uncle
all the
Brits?
bad guys in cages in your basement. I mean,
Oh, definitely Labour then.
Well, but I mean, remember they started that with I see a pothole. I'll just tell them the
Yes.
workers go ahead and fill that, and it'll be fine. Even though the pothole is like the size of Manhattan, and you're going to need all kinds of actual architectural construction to fix
That
this.
is
Yeah.
when I switched off. I
Yeah,
literally,
you're not-
I watched the first 2 episodes and thought, okay, I'll give it a chance. Episode 3, I just kept looking at my phone, and then I just couldn't be bothered with the rest. And I came back for episode 8 and 9. 8 was all right, bit, a couple of good action set pieces, bit floppy on the story, and then episode 9 was just. It's a bridge between this and the next series.
Or did you feel
this
like
should
you'd
not have been
missed
an
any
episode.
of the previous episodes? No. Probably.
No,
You go.
I
This
picked
is
up the story perfectly.
Where's Meggie? We'll need him. Brennan.
it's shit.
Chris Gore said Ep 8 was good. That
Yeah,
was last week's, wasn't it?
yeah.
It had,
I mean, there's the thing is that God love Chris, but he clearly has different standards than I do. But also that he is more forgiving of things because, well, at least they tried. I don't care. I don't care if you tried hard, right? I don't care if you worked hard. I could go out in my backyard and dig a 6-foot hole and fill it back in. I assure you, I worked harder than most people, and I accomplished nothing of value. And that's what we get from almost anything that's coming out from Disney now. I have no interest in watching anything that Disney puts out, and I have no desire to be first to see anything.
See the Andor trailer?
No.
I didn't see any parents
New
arrested
trailer.
for taking the iPads from their kids, though. That's why I'm thinking it's
Welcome
not
to
quite.
Britain 2025. Wrenched. I feel like I made the correct decision not watching this.
Yes.
I think I did, mate.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. But the whole all the vigilantes in cages in the basement, as much as it may.
Why didn't they just kill them?
Yeah, and like they already did with White Tiger, they already established kind of who they were. But that's one of the problems with the show is that the characters are inconsistent and just do what they need to do because that's what the script said.
Yeah.
Here you go.
The development is inconsistent.
New face. Hello, my friend. Grim Undoing. Chris Gore is a forever optimist. When it comes to movies and TV shows, I still like him. Just don't always trust his opinion.
I think that's a good way to be because I have sort of like a cautious optimism when it comes to a lot of shows. If I know something's going to be terrible, I will call it out. But there are some things I really wish would be good. Like Naked Gun is coming out in August.
I think that could surprise.
It could be good if it sticks to sort of like the classic comedy. Yes, they're going to have Liam Neeson do more of a Taken throwing his arms around
Gong jokes as well.
Yeah. And it could potentially be good. If they screw it up, I will be upset, but I have cautious optimism that it will be good. Like there's so many other things.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, he's a lovely fellow, and he has this sort of sense of nostalgia for Hollywood and love.
He just wants it to be good,
filmmaking.
doesn't he? He just wants to be.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're involved and the creatives, some of the creatives are involved and all that, right? The people that may actually care. The problem is that they're not in charge, right? That you are a script reader doesn't mean that you are writing scripts or editing them or being in charge of putting them into production. And it is one thing to say, man, I love cinema and I love TV and all that. Yes, I love all of those creative things too. I also have the good sense to realize that the people who are doing it right now are incompetent buffoons who should have never been put in their position. Yeah. But they are. So I'm just going to sit and watch them burn themselves down because they refuse to take the hint.
Okay, question then. What's it going to be like in 10 years' time when the new generation comes through? Is it going to be worse?
I'm not sure the Hollywood exists in 10 years if they keep up at the rate that they're going.
And it depends how they get trained and who actually trains them, because we went through a whole flurry of people who thought that a mystery box was the best way to go, and they told everyone that. And so anyone who rose up through the ranks just writes about mystery boxes.
Right.
And so we need, older people to teach the young ones coming up. That's not how you do it. And then,
or you need the kind of youthful rebellion that just goes, oh, that's what the olds do, and the hell with that. I'm going to do something different. Because if you look at who's in charge of culture now, who's in charge of movies now, who's in charge of music and all that, right? It's all just generic crap that nobody cares about. So ideally, the rebellion would be, hey, I'm going to make something meaningful or something competent, right? Let that happen and see where the chips fall, right? That's the one thing about every generation coming up. They're like, oh, we're doomed or whatever. It's like, slow your roll, because the trends that you think are permanent tend to not be, very quickly. When it becomes this is how things are. There'll be a youthful rebellion against it.
Haven't the youth basically just got rid of all the older people as toxic, pale, male, and stale instead of?
No, so again, I mean, it's a selected. The thing that we see for the most part are selected. The village idiots of the world, right? Acting, talking stupid, and all that stuff. Meanwhile, there's a whole generation of people coming up that are like, I'll just tune out of that, and I don't care about it. I'll do my thing, right? For everybody that worries about the next generation, I mean, go to a blue collar workplace and see how many of the young people there have much different attitudes than what we are promised is the future, right? Because when all you do is talk to people who graduated with grievance studies degrees from college, you will get a skewed view of a generation. That is not the case.
Yeah.
Oh, and that music and the ending montage, whoever did sound design in general for this season was not really on their game.
John Z wrenched. Well, drinker pending down, it's the message. Once they get away with removing from preaching the message, things will start to change. Currently, the message is God. Good God.
No, I mean, the one thing that, if you look at the polling for generations, the religion has become more important to the younger generation versus older ones.
Really? They're trying to get rid of it in the UK.
Right, but the thing is, sure. But what it is, I mean, the youngest generation, the ones that are in their 20s, they're never in charge. It's always fuddy-duddies like us. And if you've got people that just came up through that system and through a certain educational role and then hung around in certain social settings, then you have a worldview that operates the way that you get what you get in the UK right now. The belief in experts over everybody else. An old progressive shibboleth from the teens, the 19 teens. But if you look at the actual preferences and behaviors of younger people, they are skewing more conservative, because again, if license and narcissism is the current coin of the realm today, if you're a young person coming up, you rebel against that. Well, what direction do you rebel? You get more conservative socially and religiously and all that stuff. No, don't worry. Their kids will then rebel against them, and we'll just keep having this cycle, right? But that's the idea that everything is, this is how it's going to be forever. That is not the case. It's not how humanity works.
I do think it's important to voices like Chris that still have hope, that are optimistic, that still love the art. They're important, particularly, I think, for those of us who are less optimistic. We need someone to sort of nudge us into the direction that, hey, this may actually be good, because it's not like everything is garbage. We've got Mobland. We've had some pretty good shows.
We have Penguin. But I think that the other thing is that there is an instinct when you see that everything from Disney has been shit for a few years now. And the idea that we just look and go, you know what, the hell with movies and the hell with TV, and just get rid of that, right? Certain genres of books have gone way off the cliff of craziness, right? Sci-fi is hard to get good sci-fi anymore, hard to get good fantasy. if we just say, well, the hell with that, the problem is that those are actually important mediums in which to tell story. We don't want to lose that. We do want to lose the incompetence that's currently happening. So people like Chris, where there's the eternal optimism because they believe in the power of storytelling through those mediums, that's great. But if they want to have an optimistic view of something that is just guaranteed to be shit, okay, you do you. That doesn't mean I have to come along for the ride.
I will say that, you can see the tide is starting to falter when Snow White was beaten last week by a movie about the story of Jesus.
Yeah.
A cartoon movie about the story of Jesus.
Isn't Snow White 1.2 on IMDb at the moment?
I don't know how low it's got, but I believe it's been kicked out of quite a lot of theaters, and I think domestically it hasn't even made 100 million. It's cheered.
It warms the heart.
It really does.
Because if you would have told, if I would have come to you 3 years ago and said, okay, Disney's going to put out another live action thing, and it's going to be Snow White, and it's going to have all of the problems that all of the other ones have had, and all their politics and all that stuff, and it's only going to make like 100 million domestic, you would have laughed me out of the room. You're like, no, the Disnoids will just show up, and it'll be $1 billion because they just consume and all that. Yeah. But again, even a worm, a flatworm will turn away from a hot needle, and you've trained people. That's the thing about Marvel right now. I was watching. I know you enjoy Brown, Dave Cullen,
yes.
talking about Thunderbolts, and he was like, this looks like it might be something decent, whatever, but the projections are terrible. Well, of course they are. You trained the audience that when you go to see the product, it's shit. Don't be surprised when eventually they learn the lesson you've been trying to teach them.
Yeah. And it looks like Snow White jumped back up to 1.6. Strangely enough, without
here it comes.
Without any more reviews being added. It's still at around 300,000 reviews, but miraculously jumped up from 1.2 to 1.6.
Regarding Thunderbolts, I think if you go with the right attitude, possibly there might be an enjoyable film there. Possibly.
It's suffering from the fact that no one is recognizable. I don't have a Disney Plus subscription. The only person I recognize is Bucky.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to spend $80 to take my kids to a movie that
Thunderbolts,
watch
the
next
movie
month on
for
TV.
YouTubers.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, yeah, if you have a family, man, I'd rather take that $100 and go play it on a blackjack table. I got better odds of being satisfied.
Yeah.
And
for the cost of taking my kids to a cinema, it is sort of like, plus all the food and stuff, it is going to be sort of like £100.
Yeah.
For £100, we can have a day out anywhere else in the country, and it would be nice. It would be nicer and a more fulfilling experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, we can go do putt-putt and hang around the park and take in an evening concert. Yeah. But mind you, it's not just the streaming window. If it was going to take a year to come to streaming or never, I still wouldn't go to them. It's not a matter of waiting. It's just not worth taking the risk going to the theaters, and that's what they've trained us to do.
The chat's saying they want Snow White and Jesus.
Japanese I mean it's like they after the South Park Santa versus Jesus, we've decided to go Snow White. Yeah.
I would pay to go see that at the movies.
Emperor, am I talking over you? I didn't realize I was doing it.
No, I haven't noticed it.
I think we're polite enough not to talk over each other now.
No, I've been sat here listening intently.
I think I've done it a couple times. My apologies.
There's no apologizing. I'll talk over anybody. And
I'll talk over you.
Throw some elbows. Welcome to Interrupting the Guests on the Brown Line.
If you're talking about training the audience, the one thing they've trained us to do is not to go to the movies.
There you go, folks. Quickly becoming my favorite person in the chats. Dwindling subs. For 30 quid, you could hire a babysitter and spend the remaining 70 on a Good
Is that
times.
what I think?
Good
Is
times.
that
Yes, it is.
somebody
Yes.
You
Yes,
pay to go
The
home?
oldest
Respectful.
profession.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't pay them to come over. You pay them to leave.
That's right.
Who do you think dwindling subs is? That's either Swappers.
It's Swapper's sock puppet account, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
One of his
cider
50.
feet, maybe. I could see it being cider feet.
Common people. perhaps.
Common people, I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then I saw the pounds. He'd have done euros, wouldn't he? Or
Ooh,
would he?
potentially.
Well, yeah, I don't even know where the pound key is on my.
Yeah.
keyboard.
I mean, common people would have done it in potatoes.
Swappers every time.
It's every account is Swappers.
Yes.
Every account. Always is.
It's actually
Hey.
half of YouTube is swappers.
It is.
Didn't people used to think I was swappers?
No.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, okay.
It's like Spartacus. We all just stand up and say, I'm swappers.
Well, you
I-
and Swappers have never been seen in the same room together.
well, the first time I showed up in the chat, everybody asked me if I was somebody else. So
Have we finished with Daredevil? The review, which we never got going, but
Yeah, they finished themselves.
There is nothing else to say about it. That's the bit.
well, there's one thing which is like you said, it's just to set up the next season. Except this is half a season. This was all done with the intention of airing it all as one season, 18 episodes, and so like they haven't given me any sort of hope or indication that it'll be getting better in terms. They're just not. I just can't care. I want to care. I love Daredevil. I collected the comics. I loved the Netflix show. I like Charlie Cox. I no longer like Vincent D'Onofrio's performance as Cuckpin.
Mm.
So I just can't. And the Cherry and what's her name? Like I don't even know. They're like it's
You didn't-
painful to watch them, and
you
I just don't care.
you didn't mention the obvious CGI blood effects. Yeah, there were a couple.
Most of it
It's
is
obvious.
CG. I mean, you know, the you can tell that a lot of the guns aren't actually.
I know that
shooting blanks
that does my titting. That does. You can
Yeah.
just tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can thank Alec Baldwin for that.
Well, it's not even that. But the Flash always looks kind of a yellowy color, and kind of toned down, if you know what I mean, for people who are a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't light up everything and all that. I mean, when you fire a gun,
Yeah.
especially like in a room or something like that, it's like setting up a strobe light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since Ian isn't here, I'll go say the problem is the woke. Everything is woke, and that
It's
means
woke.
it's not going to be any good. The women are in charge, and all the men are stupid, and I just can't stand it anymore.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that it wasn't the woke that made us use CGI guns and muzzle flashes and all that. Right? It's incompetence, and I'll fix it in post because I'm not competent enough to do it on set while I'm filming, and it never gets fixed in post.
Dwindling subs. I like the submarine as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
We're going to the Titanic for a visit. The Flash looks a yellowish color because he moves so fast. Yeah.
That's a Doppler
Touche.
effect.
Yeah, Doppler.
Very good.
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
Hellgast has made a really good point. If people in the UK can tell it's not a real gun, you're doing really badly.
Oh, yeah.
Rennie Newman. It did have one nice moment when Deborah on the wall mentioned Charlie listening to a heartbeat.
There were.
That was
yeah.
Karen. Was that Karen? I've never seen her in, but I thought she was all right.
Yeah. That whole interaction about the heartbeats and the Punisher, that was up there with the moment where Charlie was negotiating with the public defender trying to get that guy's sentence reduced. It was just a little moment, but it was the first time I felt you had
Proper
real
Daredevil.
chemistry and real interaction. And he was just being Matt Murdock, the lawyer. He wasn't even being Daredevil.
You go, Amelia Bedelia, right? Disney slop. Advice, everybody: do not consume.
You say about him being, Murdoch and not Daredevil. The series was called Daredevil. Am I right in thinking he didn't even put on the costume on until episode 7?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a brief flash of something, but for the most part, yeah.
Here you go, folks. Slide Jester, what a spot. Paid to go see the Titanic. It was a crushingly painful experience.
Left me cold.
Ooh.
Yeah, if the characters are good and I'm invested in the story, I can live without the costume, but I do see the point. It's just another Disney bait and switch. You go to see a movie called Doctor Strange, and it's about some, I don't want to get
Woman.
who, and not just a regular,
Witch.
a woman who's like a space witch descended from other space witch women who are together where
Is she a lesbian?
nobody pays
the
for
acolyte?
food. Oh, this is what I was going to say. You can tell the writers really think like Trump is that guy that has his enemies chained in the basement
Hey, Stephen.
and will go rip off somebody's head. Like,
Uh,
I totally get the Trump thing there with Kingpin.
sorry, Storm Range. Daredevil had 3 good seasons. Let it rest.
Yeah.
Let it rest.
Yeah.
Let it
We could
rest.
say
and I
that
think-
about anything out at the moment. It's all like it just needs to go to bed. All of
Yeah.
it. Star Wars, Star
The
Trek, Daredevil,
Here's-
anything Marvel, Doctor Who, just stop it.
don't watch it. Right. But the people the people that bought these IPs, they did not create them. They bought them, and then it's essentially buying a brand. And if I put Ferrari on a set of pins, there will be people that buy it just because it's the Ferrari brand or whatever, right? What they put out now is just the most lazy amateurish slop that they possibly can, because that's all they're capable of doing. But they believe that if you just put brand on thing, then fans of brand are required to show up, right? I am not required to show up for that. And just because you put the brand label on something, that doesn't mean I have to go buy it or be involved in it, right? For those of us of a certain vintage, we will recall Star Trek toys to include a helmet with a flashing siren and light, and it just says Spock on
helmet.
it, right?
Fucking brilliant.
Well, it's not just that. They believe the same thing applies to real people in the industry. If you listen or read the industry stories, they think just calling somebody a cinematographer will turn them into a cinematographer when they're having to fill out all these positions with DEI slots and there's nobody that fits the bill. They just grab someone from craft services and say, you're going to be doing the camera today. And they think just that whole mantle strategy like applies to them in real life. They think calling someone a grip means they'll know how to focus a camera.
Here you go, folks. New face. Hello,
Is
Stephen.
that the best boy? I guess.
Hello, Stephen John. Hello there. The secret to Daredevil's success was Kingpin being big boned. Ozempic is to blame. Hell of a drug.
No, I mean, again, they didn't give Ozempic to the script. The script was its own anorexic, sad self long before the such drugs were available.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to give some marks then to who've seen the Daredevil episode. Graham, did you watch it then?
I did. And
Bless you.
Yeah, I thought I started it. I thought I'd just finish it, just see how it finished. I do not think it was a good episode. I think it didn't follow up last week's particularly well. The surprise of having the Punisher in it, I think, was particularly lackluster, and everyone knew that from about episode 2. And the plot was, quite thin, and all it was there for was to set up the next season. And I will probably give it maybe a 2 or a 3.
Damn.
Comparing it to the last episode, which at least had some plot, it's definitely lower. And I gave that one, I think it was a 5.
Okay. Not 5.5.
Oh, no, I'll let you do that.
Is there?
Taking into account that this is the season finale, I give it a 1.
Shit.
Otherwise, maybe 1.5 or 2. But since this is the one you have to spend the rest of the year on, not a chance.
You want a mark from me, don't you?
5.5.
5.6.
IGN 7 out of 10.
Out of 10.
Okay, season finale. I see. I thought it was slightly better than some of the shitty episodes I've seen. It felt
True,
a little
but
bit
not
more
hard.
like the men were doing something. But
I mean, it's a bit like saying it only felt like I got kicked in one nut instead of both of them.
well, it's gonna be 5.4. No, 5.5.
I,
Or should I give
do,
it 7?
I do have to admit, I had
I'm
a
gonna give it
very
3
hard
out of 10.
time.
3 out of 10.
I just had a hard time paying attention to this, so there were things I might have missed.
I doubt it.
Well, I was paying attention, even though I was fighting to look at my phone, which isn't good, is it? When you're doing that.
Yeah, if Titan's on Mars, I'm going back to Mars with my avatar.
That was kind of a review of Daredevil. I don't think we really tackled it. It was a bit shit, wasn't it?
It was indeed shit.
It was.
Speaking
And it's over
of,
now.
Not quite. Speaking of more shit, should we do some sidestepping? There's a couple.
Sure.
Of this was the scene, wasn't it? Vincent, what? I can't even say it.
D'Onofrio.
Graham, care to read the rest of it?
Vincent
Thank you.
D'Onofrio was obsessed with Kingpin's big kill in the finale of Daredevil Born Again. They were kind enough to let me take the lead. I had a particular idea. It was written as a skull crush, but I didn't want to participate in what we usually see in movies when people get their skulls crushed. I just thought it was important to match the blatant, raw brutality of the decapitation in the original series. Disgusting.
Again with the eating. Look, he's wiping his mouth. More food for Kingpin.
Mm. And yeah, it's just paying homage to the original series.
They did in
That's
the
all we have are
episode.
callbacks.
Yeah. Why didn't he do this at the beginning of the series just to show how much of an arsehole he was so that people were scared of him? It would give him, being the mayor of New York, actual stakes.
They did
Private
do
pile.
the whole dinner thing at the end of the
Very good.
episode again. They're obsessed with Kingpin.
3 plates. There are 3 plates.
Long pork, weak cook. I was thinking that.
Salted pork.
I haven't had long port since yesterday.
What was the butler in Archer? He used to call it long pork.
Gore pork.
No, I mean the what was everybody excited about? Oh, look, is Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio? They're back and they're going to play your characters. It was like, no, they're wearing the costumes of your characters, but the writing belies the fact that these are not the characters you were looking for. And everything is callback. Remember Punisher? Yes, I do remember Punisher, and it was much better than what this is. You remember when he crushed a guy's head with a car door? Yes, I do. And I don't know why he wasn't doing it from the get-go. But that we're going to wait until the last episode to do it now. Yippee skippy. Nobody cares. I'll go watch the original instead of your bad Chinese knockoff version of it.
Timu Kingpin.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if for the next season Vanessa is completely the one in charge.
Wait, she already was. She's
fair enough.
Queen.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dwindling subs. Charlie's Cox. Indeed.
In all honesty, all this makes me want to do is favorably look upon the Ben Affleck movie now.
So you said I should check out the original Daredevil then?
The 2003 movie?
No, the
the Netflix series. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really that good?
Yes.
It's much better. Yeah.
Okay. Shall we size that? We'll get this crap out of the way.
Oh, sure.
Yay!
I'm pressing X to doubt.
Will returns. Is it? Yeah, March next year. Look at that, everybody.
Too bad he didn't return in season 1.
Sleep killer.
Well,
here you go, folks. Fogwell's Gym will officially return in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Nobody
Member
cares.
berries. Yeah,
What?
member berries. Or
Oh, you remember that? I remember that. How about the Catholic Church? Could the Catholic Church return in season 2?
Is Fogwell's
Well,
Gym
that's
going
a
to be
no-no.
where all of the new superheroes meet? Because obviously now martial law has been imposed on whatever the fuck the place is called. So vigilantes are going to meet in a gym, and it's going to be their secret organization place or some shit. Is
I
that,
thought-
is that it?
I thought all the vigilantes were in Cook Penn's basement.
Oh
It's
well,
still- yeah, yeah.
whichever ones escape or appear are nowhere.
Or didn't get shot in the head with their magical amulet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be like mystery men. We'll have mystery men show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Very much who cares, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care at all.
Yeah. Toilet Duck will officially return.
Yes, and
Oh, yeah, here we go. I'll do this in a minute. Oh, sorry, chat moved up. Punisher escapes in the mid-credit scene. Yes.
I mean, did
I want to shake your hand.
I'm sure it was like a Three Stooges kind of thing, and then here we go.
Yeah, I missed it. I switched off before the
Yeah, I
credits.
nearly missed it as well.
So bored.
Yeah, I nearly missed it.
It's all like, oh, I'm glad that's over. I need a cup of tea. Just switched it off.
It's
Well,
Yeah,
nice
the-
to see I didn't miss much.
the moment that first credit came up, I was out. I didn't even. I'll have to go back and take a look when I'm recharged.
Thank God our long national nightmare is over.
There you go, folks. That was
I was-
Daredevil. It fizzled out. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my! Really? Do you really think this sets up 2 projects? Is one of them erasing the memories of everyone who saw this and saying it didn't happen?
Well, didn't they erase? Hang on, Echo erased Kingpin's memories, didn't she?
Oh, she erased his trauma.
She erased his trauma.
There you go. Drew Gordon mentioned. There is a cross there somewhere in the middle of those very, very long credits, mate. It's there. Okay, that's fucked then, isn't it?
Yeah,
much.
again,
Well done, Disney.
this was shit from the get-go. Everybody knew it was going to be shit. Surprisingly, it turned out to be shit.
It would have been shitter though, wouldn't it?
No, I'm not sure it would have, because again, they used the episodes that they claimed that they just threw away. Those are the middle episodes. The new team that came in shot the first one and shot the last 2.
A lot of the episodes did seem like that, bits had been reshot and stitched in because it changes pace. It was very badly paced through most of it. So I think, yeah, you can definitely see it's two or three sets that have just been sort of like stitched together, trying to make a story out where there wasn't one.
Yeah, maybe we can save it with the edit. No, you cannot.
The original may have been actually more coherent than this mess.
Yeah, that's the thing. It may have been a lot worse, but it would have been a coherent story.
Yeah.
Are you saying they should have just scrapped it all together and saved face?
Yes, but they can't.
Yeah.
My son actually asked me a question, and you guys can help.
Oh,
Has there ever been a case when reshoots actually made a movie better?
I'm going to say yes.
Help us out.
I'm somewhat flummoxed at the moment to come up with an example, but I know there's been a couple that reshoots and kind of a re-edit made the movie less.
Okay, I'm not talking about pickups, but
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, yeah, where they like did a oh god, yes. I mean where they did test screenings and realized, oh my god, we have really screwed up. And
there is something. There is
managed
a film.
to save it.
Yeah. Come on, chat.
That was in
reshoot saved the movie.
What was
but again, that was in the era of competence, so you can't.
There was that zombie movie. I keep forgetting the name of it, but they actually, thanks to some legal issues, they edited an entire person out and put Tig Notaro in instead.
Oh, that was Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Zack Snyder.
Probably the most famous one, Back to the Future.
Yes, I was going to say that. It's all like they shot it with Eric Stoltz and then just completely reshot it with Michael J. Fox instead.
Yeah.
Okay. And wasn't the Sonic thing that was sort of in the initial design phase, right? They
Yeah.
hadn't finished the movie or anything.
No, but they had done like trailers to demonstrate what was going on, and you knew that,
Yeah.
that they were a ways down the road and realized, we made a mistake.
Lawrence
think-
of Arabia.
Okay, if that movie had
Reshoots.
reshoots, then they worked because that movie is awesome.
Yeah.
With Sonic, they didn't. It wasn't necessarily reshoot so much as it was they just wiped away all the special effects, retook the original
Re-rendered.
film, and then recreated Sonic going on top of it. So,
Right, which again is the more that it's actually more onerous than
yeah,
reshoots because
it's harder work because they can't
Yeah.
take what they've got already and then just change it for a new model. They've actually got to wipe everything and then start all the special effects from scratch again.
Yeah.
There you go.
I watched the whole
James-
documentary on this.
www. Hello, James. Parnassus after Ledger died.
I'm having a very hard time imagining that Tig Notaro is ever an upgrade. I don't know what they replaced her with, but it could not have been worse.
Oh, she was the replacement. She did all of her stuff against a green screen, and they just superimposed her into all the shots.
Yep.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm going to
there's
say that
weird
didn't work.
scale and lighting and all sorts. It just looks really weird all the way.
Well, I mean, it didn't help that Zack Snyder was using a broken camera lens because he heard it was cool and he bought it,
Yes.
not realizing that what he bought was broken, and he continues to use it.
With the slow motion, you have to replace 3 times the frames.
You do.
That's a lot of more reshooting. Yeah.
Here you go. Sly Jester. Oh, sorry. Chat moved up. World Sport. There Will Be Blood. They had to replace the original Eli Sunday with Paul Danu and supposed had only 2 weeks to learn the role.
Wow.
That's a great movie, that is.
Yeah, he's incredible. Who was the original Eli?
Don't know.
Don't know.
I will say I went to the cinema to go see a movie, and that was the only thing what was showing at the time because I left it till late. And I thought, okay, There Will Be Blood, and I thought it was a horror film. So all right, I'll go and watch it. Not realizing it's like is it a 3-hour film? It's really really long, isn't it? And it's effectively a western, isn't it, with oil?
Yeah, it's the early oil days.
Yeah, I thought it was a horror film. And I thought, what?
Mm.
I would have never in a million years have gone to have seen. If I'd have known There Will Be Blood, what it was, I would not have gone to have seen it.
Well, this just in, Gangs of New York is not an urban film.
What a great film.
Hmm.
We
Oh,
got
it
some
was-
chats.
Sorry, it was Kel O'Neill was the original actor for Eli Sunday.
Hmm.
Super chat, everybody. Come on, people. Wrenched 669. This has to be the worst panel ever. You're not wrong.
Common People is suffering from
stinking
memory
it.
loss because B-Sides does exist, Common People.
Not a single Daisy Ridley enjoyer. Where's my 4 fingers representation?
Well, remember that time when the thing happened and you mentioned the thing and
Yeah. You know, when you asked
times.
Smilex
Good
about the
times.
thing, but Big Ship couldn't remember it. And yeah.
Good
times,
times, good times.
Yeah, that was good times. I enjoyed that.
Good times.
hey, we talked about Axel Braun and Brazzers and adult movies. You got all the 4 fingers you could possibly want.
Here you go. Dommy, World of Sport. I went to the cinema to watch a movie. Brune, 416.
Well, to be fair, I think he was more shocked that you went there to watch a movie instead of to meet up with your tutor.
The power of cinema. As I said, I would never have gone to have watched there. I would have looked at the review and thought, nah, not my thing.
Yeah,
Didn't know what it was.
Sounds a bit pretentious if you look at
Yeah.
it. No, here we
Randall
go.
Day-Lewis.
Yeah, yeah.
What a film. What a
Yep.
film.
Back in 2000, I actually used to work in a cinema. It's UGC, used to be Virgin Cinemas, and they got bought out by Cineworld. And I can absolutely guarantee you that at least once a day, you would catch people shagging in a screen.
Oh yeah.
Really?
And the number of people who just threw popcorn around were bastards, and the fact that's happening in the Minecraft movie now is just you're all bastards, basically.
Is it a bastard to clean it up?
It is
Oh,
because
those floors are sticky.
they are, yeah, they are deeply unpleasant, and
Mhm.
you have no time to actually clean them properly. So it's literally you have to go in. You have 5 minutes to scoop up as much as you can
And
before
what
the
about
next
the
showing's on.
floors? Oh. Okay, we've got some stuff left over from Sunday. Who saw this?
Oh,
Wow.
heaven.
Hmm.
The rumoured lands and attractions coming to Universal Studio UK's are. Shoot it from the top.
Yeah.
Oh, Z3PO is extremely excited.
Is Minions.
That'll draw in a lot of kids.
Where's that going to be?
Banana Land, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be. That's probably going to be for I'd say the younger children.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Paddington.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
That
it's
would
almost
be
like they know
roller
their target
coasters.
market in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be for the Jimmy Savile-aged children.
Mhm,
I was
mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely.
Now then.
Lovely.
Jurassic
Ooh,
World
says
for
on
the furries.
Jurassic Park.
Boosh.
No, it's World. It's in something.
Mm.
Drinker will be
Which-
there.
Yeah. That's
Which
going to be
will-
for the teenagers. I think we're going to have. There's going to be roller coasters and rides and dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, jump scares.
Yeah.
And pretty amazing animatronics. Have you seen the
Yes.
dragons?
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Oh yeah, it's the was it the
How to
Boston
Train Your
Dynamics
Dragon?
Pogs? Boston Dynamics.
Yeah,
Pog, and
Boston
they put a
Dynamics,
skin on
yeah.
top of it, so it actually
Oh.
just wanders around on its own and
Yep.
does all the pet movements and stuff.
Okay, I'm not going to read that, but you can read it, folks.
But that's outside of the Universal Studios UK.
That's the rest of England.
The rest of Britain, yeah.
It's like it's on the east side of the park.
Mhm.
Back to the Future.
No, that's a good. Again,
Yep.
well,
Will they be
everybody
doing
knows it and enjoys it.
Okay,
I
will they
think
be
it-
doing
yeah.
the Back to the Future ride? What they
I
did
mean,
at-
yeah, they'll do like the car and all
Oh,
that
that
stuff
was
like they
excellent,
did
though.
with
That was
Universal
excellent.
Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like
excellent.
volume screen and travel through time and cars that move.
Oh,
around.
that'd be because they've got the volume now. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be
Yep.
great.
A DeLorean with a glove compartment full of cocaine. Like, who?
Oh, get in!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll book a flight to UK now.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, not Rings of Power.
Yeah, I think that's more designed for the parents of the group.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be a mix.
Yeah. But I mean,
Mob
if you're talking
Land.
about sort of like demographic, that's going to be sort of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
30s,
There you go.
40s.
It will be the
No.
antithesis of Minions.
No Mobland Land. I thought we did
No,
that.
Ireland already exists.
Oh, God, here we go.
Careful.
James Bond stunt show.
Now
Not
that's for the
interested.
parents.
Not interested.
There you go.
The
You
James
know,
Bond-
This may be the actual James Bond, not the BS.
No, not interested.
Hmm.
You know the big lake in the middle there? Couldn't they do Jaws World or something?
Or search for Titanic.
Well, they may use part of it for Jurassic World because they might try and recreate the
the Megalodon.
Amelia Bedelia Reg. Is there a Doctor Who land?
not with Universal.
That'd be Disney. Well, actually, no, Disney's kind of given it up now, haven't they?
They couldn't get Shooty to stop crying long enough to ask him.
That's actually how they filled that entire lake area.
This is going to be where? Bedford, near Z's house.
Bedford near Luton, yeah.
Oh, we love that
Government,
traffic.
Yeah,
you-
government are subsidising a lot of this, aren't they?
Did you see? I think it was the mayor of Bedford. He was so excited that it was turning up, and the reason for him being excited is because it will now have its own exit off the A134.
Oh, get in.
That's what he's excited about. It has its own road exit.
Oh, Brown, look at that Steve Cossaboom chat.
Hold on.
Oh, yep.
Steve Cossaboom. Sean Bean has cacked it midway through his latest series, A Gangster Thing. Has he been killed 22 times now?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Everything
And,
Sean Bean's in, he gets killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the Jeffrey Dean Morgan of the UK.
Is that like a trope now?
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
a hell of a trope.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
was it Boromir and he was James Bond, Sharp. I mean, there's loads of stuff he's been in. And
Oh,
he
he's
dies
killed in
every single
Patriot
time.
games.
Patriot games, yep.
Although he did
Always
survive the De Niro. Oh, for God's sakes, the one where De Niro's driving the BMW.
Ronan. Yeah,
Ronan,
and
yeah, he survives Ronan.
he did get fired though, and the implication is, well, it would be funny if he and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the guy who played the comedian in The Watchmen, he also is usually already dead by the first episode, and only appears in flashbacks.
What would Greta Land be like? Would it be all like
Miserable.
It's on the map already. If you look at the top, you see that bit that's on fire.
Yeah.
Will it be just
There you
all
go.
windmills with birds of prey getting killed?
Yeah,
by
just
the-
all just
and
pasted all over the
whales and
blades.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a T-shirt from there that says "How dare I."
Yeah. There might be like a recreation of the Louvre that you can throw paint on the paintings.
What is chat? Which is the best Sean Bean death? Do we know? This sounds pretty good. Stephen John. Oh, Stephen. He lost his head in Got.
Yeah. Boy, best shot. But there's been again 22.
Been a lot of them.
He
Yeah.
survived in Sharp though, didn't he?
Did he? I thought he died at the end.
Oh, did
Yeah, and
he?
he survived in Legend because that was his show.
This opens 20. Is it 32?
2031, I thought, but it'll
That's
probably open.
That's not in the evening either.
It'll probably be in phases, but no, I know the show itself didn't make a huge splash, but I guess it's about 10 years ago. Sean
Baywatch.
Bean was in a show called Legend, where he played a deep cover spy. The show is extraordinary. It's definitely worth checking out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I watched
You
like the
haven't seen
first
it.
couple of seasons of that.
He's amazing in it.
Yeah, Sean Bean has always been a good actor. It's just he's stereotyped, typecast as a guy who will die.
You go, Carlos Delfino. Hello, Carlos. His best death has to be Boromir, no question.
Oh yeah, certainly best death scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this going to happen then in the UK, or is it definitely going to happen?
I mean, is the UK going to be around in 2031?
Not the way it's going.
Mm.
I don't think it's going to
It'll,
be around in 2027. It's touch and go, isn't it, Graham, at the moment?
It'll be
It has its moments.
It'll be the
but
United Emirates of UK.
The only thing I worry about is I'm not sure who to place a bet on being dissolved first, whether or not it's going to be the UK or the US.
Oh, we've got you.
One of them is going to implode before the other, and I don't know which one's which.
I'm betting on you.
I think it's going to be us. I think we're going to, if anything, I think we're going to be bankrupt first. I think that's
I
the
don't know.
first
Have you looked at the US stock market?
No, I think that's I think we're going to be going to cap in hand personally first before anything happens.
Well,
the good news is that you can, while markets may fail and people may question currency, the thing that backs a currency is military. So I think we're going to make it longer than you.
I was going to say we all have
Welcome
guns.
to politics.
So when it happens, it'll happen fast.
It's all right. We got knives. Don't worry. Okay, shall we move on?
Those
We
are
don't
all
have ninja swords anymore.
no.
No, actually, it sounds really stupid.
Speaking
I
of
read
swords.
the list of things you're not allowed, and one of them made me laugh. Is a sickle on a string. It has a proper name, but if you have a sickle, that's fine, that's legal. But if you have a string attached to it, it's then illegal because it's a very niche weapon used
By the ninja.
in ancient China. I think it was.
Oh well, I know the ninja use it well. What is? I mean, so I obviously, I mean, I grew up in the '80s. We had to live through the Great Ninja Menace of 80, 81,
Oh,
87.
Let's not
Fantastic.
forget
I love
the
them.
Turtles came over here as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because we really didn't like them over here.
Yeah. You understood the threat of what ninjas could do in the UK. But I'm just wondering. I mean, the Ninja Menace was defeated by the US by the early '90s. Did they move over there, or were they always like endemic to the UK? And it's just the population has gotten out of control. For this Great Ninja Menace that you have to deal with.
See, the thing about a ninja is if you can't see one,
How do
then
you know it's there?
they're obviously hidden.
Well, they're
And
good, right?
they're
That's when you know
doing
they're
the
good.
Yeah. So
yeah.
nobody here has ever seen a ninja, which means there must be millions of them that we don't know about.
And the threat must be much higher because they're that good.
They're that good. You
I
don't
didn't
see
plan
them
that
at all.
out.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, what about a sickle on a leash? Because stop it from wandering
What
off.
about the moon on a stick?
Every time I go to an amusement park, my sickle wanders off, and I have half the day trying to find it.
Is your sickle by?
That's called a kusarigama, by the way.
What, a bicycle?
It's
Sickle by
Bicycle.
a
Yeah,
sickle
bicycle.
on a chain is a kusarigama.
sexual.
Yeah. But these weapons were wielded by people who spent years training with them. They are not easy to use. It's not the kind of thing where someone can make one, whirl it around their head, and seriously injure people. They're more than likely going to cut their own leg off.
Oh yeah, they will seriously injure themselves for sure.
Yeah,
like
there's a reason that nunchucks were hilarious in the '80s because there was a lot of head wounds by people who didn't actually know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah. You go,
Yeah.
Big Rodden. It's actually a sickle on a string attached to a hollow pole, so you can use it as a hitting stick and fling it like a yo-yo. Check out Ringo Lamb's Burning Paradise. A horse gets CGI decapitated by one.
Well, I mean, that's what you really need to do is have safe and sensible CGI control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Realistic CGI.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, just safe and because I mean, when CGI runs amok, then yes, you end up with decapitated horses. It's just all kinds of things.
Blood pouring everywhere.
Yeah, explosions that are so slow that you can actually just jump away from them.
So CGI is the menace here. So we need to get the government to ban CGI.
Yeah, I think that's actually what they're using to hide the ninjas is CGI.
Especially
well,
realistic.
My God,
there were a lot of fingers sewn back on in emergency rooms when ninja swords were at their height of popularity.
Well, that and butterfly knives.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet it wasn't ninja swords, it was katanas. They're not ninja swords.
No.
Ninjatos are ninja swords.
Yeah.
And they're not the same thing.
My friend in the 80s, we were all into the ninja stuff. He bought a ninja sword. Really good.
Yeah.
So can you still have a katana in England?
Oh yeah, you can have a katana.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just
Well, a
can't
ninja
have.
sword.
No, that's a samurai.
No, that's a ninjato, which you can't have anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're gonna. I've missed the super chat, folks, or did I?
Yep.
Istaphobos Wrench, World Sport, $2. Kel O'Neill was the original Eli.
Yeah, to which I said or thought, who?
Who?
Oh.
Shall we move on? It was a great segue into ninja swords.
Oh, excellent.
First post for upcoming Predator animated film.
Have you seen the trailer for this?
I think I did, yeah. But
Yeah. So
Well,
did I.
has the UK outlawed predator cannons and predator spears yet? Because I can see those being.
I mean, they're having enough problems dealing with predators. They just
well, if
allow
this was
those
the
to be-
British, if this was the British government, they would think this was a documentary, wouldn't they?
Well, it could be, yeah.
Mm.
But they would complain about the violence being done to predators.
I just
Lovely.
I honestly
Lovely.
I'm waiting for this movie to come out and then it to be CGI edited, so there's no cannons or swords. It's just people with their thumbs up instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I saw the trailer for this and I already had little hope
You go,
for it.
D-Day,
Yeah.
D-Day,
Yeah.
folks.
I don't know why it's animated. It's just, I mean, admittedly, animation is probably easier, but it's a weird art style to have a Predator film in.
Well, so
Lovely.
again, I mean, it's the cargo culting that you see in so much of Hollywood. Is the kids they like the animes, So we're going to try and do that. And it's like, no, you're not. And it's going to be bad.
Yeah, because it's not anime. It's an interpretation of,
Right.
Japanese animation.
Yeah.
It's not anime.
Graham, you available to read this? I think you could do this justice.
Gavin Blackburn, Wrenched, World of Sport. Ooh, Predator, now then. Jungle, jangle, jewelry.
My God.
Predator will fix it.
Will it?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean this is like an anthology. It's a bunch of shorts collected together. Yeah, as a single movie. Again, the art style, but the big thing is that they're using like the Predator from Prey, the special needs
Predator,
Jeremy, the special needs Predator.
I never
watched
watched that. I didn't
the
bother
slow
watching
one.
Yeah. He flew in on the short ship, but the and just everything that was done, that they're doing about it was like, I don't care. I mean, for fuck's sake, they have World War II with a Predator flying a Predator ship, shooting down World War II pilots, like that's sporting in any way, right? I mean, it would be like, okay, I'm going to take do the Philadelphia experiment. I'm going to take a
final,
modern
countdown.
The final countdown. Yeah, Enterprise goes back and has to deal with Japanese heroes, and I'd be like, well, this is over in about 8 seconds. Bye.
That was a good film. That was.
It was. Yeah.
Sword had a nice comment there about.
Oh, hold on. Whereabouts?
5:22 p.m. my time.
11:22.
This one.
Yeah.
Can you read it, anybody?
Yeah. Looks like someone watched Arcane and thought, I can do that. There are some of the shorts have that Fortiche animation style to it. The thing that annoyed me is that the World War II one actually looks like they're ripping off an excellent short that was done by a small independent Polish group called Paths of Hate. And it looks like they're just straight up like stealing the style without any of the substance.
So more creative bankruptcies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to need a bigger bankruptcy court to deal with Hollywood.
You go, Mud Crab. Final Countdown was fun. Closed loop time travel story.
Yeah, to include people that were like, that went back in time and then were dropped off and show up later.
Oh, that was a good film.
Yeah, wasn't that
way
like
ahead of his
30
time?
years ago?
1980, 79 or 80?
80 was it?
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Douglas.
Yep.
Martin Sheen. Who else? That guy who was in Blue Thunder.
Treat Williams.
Guy who was in Blue Thunder, the TV series.
Roy Scheider?
Roy Scheider? Oh, the TV series. I'm pretty sure Treat Williams was in it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Everybody check it out.
Sheen, James Ferrantino.
Yes, that's him. Yes.
Yeah. Charles Durning. Always.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a good remake, actually. But anyway.
No, stop.
No, but this time we blow the Japanese to bits.
No, that would be cultural genocide. We can't have that. That'd be terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hollywood, stop remaking good stuff.
Give
it 10 years.
Yeah.
Just give it 10 years and then have a look.
Well, that's the other thing that's annoying, especially from like Disney and their shovelware that they keep putting out.
Very good.
None of them actually took an economics course because scarcity is one of the fundamental things that gives value to something. When it's, I got to have 8 shows come out a year or whatever. It's like, I mean, you just keep cranking out supply, and I don't know why the price keeps going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why Star Wars lasted for so long, because you had artificial scarcity, because they made 3 movies and a couple of TV shows, but that was it for sort of like 30 years. Then they made the first 3, and again, that was it. And then
Yeah,
Disney
well,
took it over, and they have just pumped out Star Wars, all sorts of things, and it's all just gone really badly because there's no scarcity anymore.
Yeah. Well, and again, they don't take breaks. Oh, we're going to have a movie every year. That was when I looked at it. Was like, are you all high? Do you not understand the value? I mean, the originals were 3 years apart. There's plenty of time to build up anticipation. And oh, by the way, Star Wars ran continuously in theaters throughout those 3 years.
Yeah. And even though we got 1, 2, and 3 at the time were not particularly favorably looked at, especially people like Jar Jar Binks. As time went on and people went back and reviewed it, they were appreciated a bit more. And then as 7, 8, and 9 came out, people went, actually, 1 to 3 weren't actually that bad.
Yeah, well, again, that's the damning with faint praise, or I don't know how low this bar is going to go, but we may need a ditch digger or something to.
That's true.
Okay, should we quickly do this one?
Let's move
on. Skydance Media $8 billion agreement to merge with Paramount Global expired, so it's still not going. They've got 90 days to sort it out.
Yeah, and they have a $20 billion Trump lawsuit to contend with.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Who does?
Paramount.
Paramount.
Why? What did Trump do? What did they do to Trump?
CBS and 60 Minutes. How
okay.
He's going for election interference, and the legal consider it's a tough case to make, but
it's a hell of a sort of Damocles hanging over a deal where we're suddenly on the hook for how much? Oh, well, that's more than the company's worth.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's hard to look at the Kamala edit and think there wasn't some definite intention involved there.
Oh, was it specifically due to that program?
The 60 Minutes. Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a lawsuit.
Yeah, $20 billion.
Fuck.
There was another bit on 60 Minutes, I think, as well, but that's the primary bone of contention.
Here you go. Sorry, chat moved up. Sly Jester wrenched. Sorry, Will Spot. They're not buying Paramount. They're buying Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, I'd agree, because the back catalog isn't worth all that much. Paramount has been busy smearing PCs all over anything that was of value except for Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah,
we're being told off here. Politics. All right.
No, I mean it literally. It's not about the politics. It is that there is a lawsuit hanging over this deal that could scupper it. When you're talking about it's going to be an $8 billion merger with a $20 billion potential judgment.
Damn.
That will give the accountants a bit of a sphincter moment.
Shall we buy once it goes through? Shall we buy it for $1? Because it'll probably be
no, because they'll bundle the debt in with it. They'll be like when they sold CW.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, let's move on from that.
Sword in the Storm asks, "What's a Taylor Sheridan?" So, have you never heard of Taylor Sheridan?
Yeah, this is what makes me want to buy a ticket to England and not the amusement park.
Yeah, we did this last week. I was going to do it again on the Sunday for a different panel, but we'll do it again. The original unedited theatrical cut of Star Wars will be screened publicly for the first time in decades at the British Film Institute Film on Film Festival, June 12th.
So BFI had one of the original theatrical cuts and not one of the polluted special editions.
Yeah, they got the first films effectively have gone into archive. They've got the BFI has archives of almost every single film ever made.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we had similar things here, but under Lucas's direct influence, those were replaced with the special editions.
I don't think George Lucas hated the version, but it was the first one made. And then when he created the special edition, he said, "This is now the proper version."
Okay.
I am moved to the UK. Don't blame me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Dommy, I am moving to the. No, I wouldn't, mate. Yeah. Just fly in, fly out.
Yeah, it's good for a visit.
When he made the original, episode 4, 5, 6, the technology wasn't there for it to be what he envisaged. You've got to remember they created Industrial Light and Magic from nothing,
Yeah.
A tenth of the entire movie budget was setting up that company and actually creating motion control cameras from scratch.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't have the money to do everything he wanted. So the special edition is effectively what he wanted to add in.
Right. The problem is that George. So there's a few things. One, George has always been high on his own supply and retcons his own history. Right. Oh no, I wrote it all out. You lying bastard. Stop it. Right. There's a reason that Splinter in the Mind's Eye was to publish this book, because that was your fallback for maybe if I get a low budget sequel. That's what I'm doing. Oh no, Empire. And I wrote the prequels long before. Stop it. Just stop it. Right. But his middle finger to the audience that actually made him all of the money by saying, well, this was my vision. Nobody cares, George. What we saw was what we saw. We liked that.
Yeah. There's a whole generation out there who've never heard Yubnub.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still say it's superior to the, pan flute shit that we got in the special edition.
Would that go on.
Well, look at what Disney does with unlimited money. Constraints and restrictions actually encourage creativity.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
they're necessary.
Whenever you have an unlimited, limitless checkbook, it's never as good as when you're forced to work with what you have. And he may think it's the superior.
Who's Yubnub? Remind me, please.
Oh, it's the final song in
the final song.
on the Horsemen of Endor. The other thing is, Drew, how do you like that band in Jabba's palace? Because the special edition is shit with the CGI characters and all that, and it's terrible.
Yeah. One thing I liked about episode 4 when it was called Star Wars, before any of the special edition stuff, when they're on the Death Star and Obi-Wan is deactivating the tractor beam.
Yeah.
All of the words are written in English. So it actually says tractor power.
Yeah.
Would that have been the version that we had the first release on VHS back in the day then?
Yes.
Yeah.
God,
so it's all written in English. It's only when they did the special edition they changed it to Galactic Basic, because they
I had a bootleg copy of that taped from the original.
I still have the trilogy on the original VHS.
Why did I throw it away, you idiots?
Listen,
and then I have transfers from the Laserdisc and
threw all
from
the tapes
Asian DVDs.
There's some editions online that were mastered from the original that are, very fulfilling to watch.
Yeah, the 4Ks.
Just remember, the prequels are what you get when George gets his vision with 800,000 things going on in every scene. Remember Rick McCallum? It's like, it's so dense. So much is happening.
Yeah, I mean, he does the same thing on Tatooine with the special editions, right? But yeah, George being large and in charge of everything, that's how you get the prequels.
Sun and Storm Wrenched. Brune, you can still get it on DVD.
You can't. You can only get the special editions. What they call the special edition.
Yep.
You can't get the original.
No.
Could somebody sort
you could in Asia, which is where I've got my versions.
Please?
Yeah.
Please, somebody sort me it.
Just look for something online called the Hyperspace editions or the despecialized.
Yeah. Well, R2's right. The 4K 77.
That isn't going to swallow up my HD as well, my hard drive.
No, I mean, it's not too bad.
17 gigs, more or less.
My computer would go off.
Hey, what happened? Gigs. Didn't you used to have a new computer fund? We were trying to...
We had a new chair fund.
Yeah, it still needs sorting.
You can set little super chat goals now on YouTube. So maybe we need to set up a fundraiser for Mr. Brown's new computer.
This has seen better days. This it's all to do with my music stuff. The goal was get my music signed, and the reward was new computer. So anyway, okay.
All right, I'm contributing just a little bit here.
We're nearly there with the music. I think it's not quite there, but I think I've managed to get a music track signed. So it's taken me 4 years of fucking graft, but here we go, folks. Istaphobos Wrenched. One spot gifted 1 NBA membership. Thank you, my friend.
You get a free super chat with that.
I think more importantly, is Colin.
I am going to get a chair at some point.
I mean,
chair
this is
will be
breaking news
purchased,
right
don't
here. Brown, what do you have to say to these allegations about your vegan hookers?
At this moment, I'd take vegan hookers.
Yeah.
At this moment in my life.
Hey, I heard they're building a new compound in Amsterdam for them. A nice little high-rise kind of thing.
Can't do that. Saving up for the Ray movie in Vegas. Because it's going to happen. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah, right after Ruins trilogies.
Yeah, you'll have a lot more due to compound interest by the time that comes out.
Yep.
Okay. Shall we? I don't know. I think Ian said he's going to try and go see it, but I don't know. That's in London, isn't it? So I would imagine if he can, he will. Because it is a once... Sounds a bit silly. Once in a lifetime.
I mean, it really is. I had at the time the special editions came out, I had 2 kids, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take my kids, because by the way, it was advertised as, oh, we've cleaned up some of the effects, the compositing's better and this and that and whatever. And when I went to go see Star Wars, in the special edition, and I was incandescent with rage at this bullshit.
Damn.
George
Han shot first.
Yeah, exactly. Han's the only one that shot.
Yep.
I honestly considered considered visiting London for this, but I'm really worried as soon as I land, they look at my tweets, and the next thing you know,
we're
I'm in
going
jail and I can't get out.
Straight to jail. Yeah.
Would you really do that then? Fly over to watch this?
Get
Ian to put you up.
Oh, when my kids were young, I really would have considered it.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Really? Flying and then get the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, there is the
Damn.
When you see Star Wars on the big screen, it is an entirely different impact than watching it on I got a big screen TV. That ain't the same.
They Cineworld did have Star Wars on a few months ago while it was still open, but it was the special edition, and it's while it looked fantastic with the digital projectors, because the first time I've seen it with the digital projectors, it looked great, sounded great, but it still wasn't the original. It's just some of the special stuff. Some of it's okay. A lot isn't.
No, it aged so poorly. The CG it aged terribly. I mean, the
digital effects.
For God's sakes, the Jabba scene is shit.
Yeah, digital effects. Digital effects age a lot quicker than practical effects.
Right. It's why. I mean, there's a reason that Jurassic Park shot 4 years previous to that. Right, is a better movie because they understood that there are only certain moments when digital works, and then you have to have practical. Otherwise, George was high on his own supply.
And look at 2001 and Blade Runner; those still look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Brown, I did fly to London for a show. I think it was 2005.
Damn!
I went there to see Pink Floyd. I figured it was going to be my last chance.
And was it?
Well, considering Richard Wright died soon after.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was actually, flying wasn't really the main expense of that. It was getting a ticket.
I would imagine the ticket for that will be relatively reasonable. We have a mightily generous super chat. Should we do it?
Absolutely.
Joe Eager for 50. Wow. 50 US dollars. Thank you, my friend. I first saw Star Wars as the special edition in theaters. Even as a kid, I thought it wasn't really better than the VHS releases. Lucas actually fixed the compositing errors in the VHS releases long before the specials.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you also, when the Death Star explodes,
Thank you, my friend.
it
Oh,
just
I hate that.
explodes.
Yeah.
In
No, it doesn't have the big
And then-
CG ring of bullshit.
What's called it's called
Praxis.
You can download the Praxis effect.
Yeah, the Praxis effect. Yep.
That stupid ring. It's just
Lifted from Star Trek 6.
Star
Yep.
Trek 6, yeah.
Well, there's the new computer fund. You're on your way.
Thank you,
Thank you
Joe.
very much, Joe.
Mightily, mightily generous. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Shall we move on? Obviously, this was last week. Somebody's going to be very happy in the chat.
No common people.
Yes.
One
People
finger,
stroking
two
his
finger.
knees. Ooh.
4
Three finger.
fingers ago today, Lucasfilm officially announced that they
Yep. Common people's a one-man mob.
straight out the. There you go.
All right, I have to admit, she looks cute there.
She looks like angsty goth girl that went on a camping trip.
Like I said,
Yeah, she's been to Coachella to find
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
Either that or Burning Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can smell the
yeah.
daddy issues from here.
a
Yeah.
Coachella refugee.
Poor Daisy.
Also a bit of a cankle thing going on.
Poor Daisy.
Daisy.
But yeah, Daisy Ridley will return as Rey Skywalker in a new Star Wars film. Yeah, how's that going, Daisy?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Well, it's not her fault. I mean, come on.
No,
She
it's
needed
not.
the work. They made her an
She was
offer.
young and needed the money.
Hey, come on, she's had such a great career since Star Wars.
Oh,
doing
Yeah, we had the
What's it-
cleaner.
Was it
the
going to be?
cleaner.
Oh, great movie. Was it
Yeah.
going to be released next year? This.
Oh,
did we
wasn't
ever
it
get
this year?
Or did we get a date? I don't know. Did
Oh no,
we?
I think it was this year. I think it was like summer of
Was it?
2025.
Oh, can I drop a bit of trivia?
Go.
Go on.
So Karen McCarthy, who signed on to Lucasfilm as the original producer for The Acolyte, and she got fired a week after she moved to England.
Yeah, after she moved to London.
Oh, is it that one? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and
Mhm.
she had the offer to produce Sugar, which is a really amazing Colin Farrell show on Apple TV. But so there's been a change. She's been, suing Disney,
Yeah, that was
wow.
going, wasn't it? Yeah.
but they just had Discovery, and she actually discovered something, which was that Kathleen Kennedy did not have the green light for Disney to make the show, and they actually completely lied to her about the schedule, about the budget.
Yes, I heard this.
The idea was Kennedy was going to sort of try to force Disney's hand into,
Retroactively, yeah.
and they obviously they did, and went way over budget. But so now the lawsuit, they've amended their lawsuit to add 2 counts of fraud,
Brilliant.
which really kind of explains why Disney's a little gun shy about Discovery with Gina Carano.
Mhm.
Every company is scared shitless of Discovery because you
Yeah.
Not
pull back the
TV
veil.
channel either.
Yeah.
So what I really can't wrap my head around is how is she still there?
Well, you know what that means, don't you?
She's
Blackmail
got something
somewhere
on
along the
Iger.
line, yeah.
No, I think there's the bigger thing is that these are the most prideful people who are worried about what other people think. To fire her is to admit that you did something wrong.
Failure, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't admit failure. It
No,
tanks your
no.
stock price.
I mean,
Yeah,
well, not only
yeah.
that, but we're the smartest people and the most important people. We know better than everybody else. If we actually had to realize that we may have made a mistake, that may call into question a lot of other beliefs we have about ourselves.
If I've understood that correctly, you know what that means, don't you? There's going to be no meetup in Vegas. Is that correct?
There's still plenty of time. I mean, it says May
It's not going to get. It's
2026.
not. Is it going to? It's not going to get made then, is it?
No,
The
it was
Rain movie,
never going to get
Was
made.
it a fib? It was just a fib.
it was
wasn't
all
it?
lies.
I look at the number of. Let's go
Ah.
back and take a look 2 years ago when
Shit.
Kathleen Kennedy at the celebration lays out all the things we're going to do. How's that Rangers TV show going?
They've gone through 5 script writers already, but I'm saying this is her MO. She announces stuff they don't even have the green light for. So I wouldn't be surprised if Disney hasn't officially given her the go-ahead for the Rey movie.
I know damn well they haven't.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Or
if it does, it'll come out after that Tomb Raider TV show that.
Yeah.
How's that going?
The one that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, that just got canceled, and they're like, nope.
No.
I want to get paid $100 million for doing nothing.
So much money, and she did nothing. She
Ray not going to get paid.
Sword 5 years ago. Yep. Doomcock was reporting that.
Doomcock, to be fair, does report on a lot of things.
Yes, he has, however, been consistent. KK is always just about to be frog marched right on out, and has been that way for 5 years now.
Do we know what the state of play is with the Gina Carano stuff then?
They just signed an
was it
agreement.
Her birthday recently? I'm sure I saw a little post today.
Yeah. It was yesterday, I believe.
Okay.
Well, Disney has about 17 or 16 days left to produce the documents that they had been dragging their heels on for the last 4 months. And they've agreed to a somewhat limited discovery process to hopefully expedite that along.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing what any good corporate law firm would do is you fight every single step of the way. On this one very modified small thing, okay, we'll fight it, and then we lose. All right, we'll drag our feet a little bit, get it out. Oh, you want to discover something else? We're going to start this process over again.
Yeah,
this is a long haul. It's why Gina, to have any chance at all, had to have the backing of someone like Elon Musk, because you have to have ludicrously deep pockets to go after a major public company who is fighting discovery.
It's all about who's got the better lawyers and who's got the most money to keep it going.
It's purely money. I don't care about the best lawyers, right? It's delay, and see if I can exhaust the other side.
It's stalling, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think they're picking the wrong person. Wrenched. Mr. Brown answers me. Also, that feminist activist,
Obaid Chinoy,
will kick off massively if it gets officially cancelled.
By the time this movie gets made, she'll be a member of MGTOW. That's a men's group.
Oh.
Okay, that didn't work. But
killed it. Yes.
Yeah.
Was that one of the jokes you were telling us about that you had in reserve?
It's the modern version of the Little Rascals Women Haters Club. It's
the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yeah, it stands for men going their own way that are basically
sometime Angel Dolly. Mr. Brownlands, that's me. Hello, Dolly. I don't hate Daisy Ridley. Nobody does.
No.
To be honest, nor do I hate Ray.
No, that one I might have some problems with.
Yeah. She really ultimately got stuffed by
bad scriptwriters.
Yeah, the side swipe. So did John.
Yeah, I mean, it was everybody.
Everybody on that got.
I didn't hate John Boyega, but after
he's starting to make me hate him.
Have you seen Rose Tico has started saying how much she loves Star Wars again?
Yeah.
God, no.
Yeah, because obviously she hasn't.
What else do they have?
Yeah, she hated Star Wars so much because it was full of bigots and racists that she shut down all her social media, and now she hasn't got any other work. She's saying how much she loves Star Wars.
No, I mean, the thing is that I don't think Daisy Ridley seems like a perfectly fine person. She hasn't run around and shown the red ass and shit on everybody and all that stuff or whatever, right? No. The fact is, she's not especially talented. Now, that could also have been said for some of the original members of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right. Mark Hamill is not an especially talented actor. And his resume demonstrates thus, right? Yeah. He is, however, a great voice actor, which he had to become because, there's a curse to being in certain movies and franchises, right? That you will be pigeonholed. You better have made your money, or you better really be good and be able to break out of that. And Daisy is neither of those.
And I have to give it to Kelly Marie Tran when the press was trying to create the narrative that toxic fans had chased her off of social media. She came out and said it was the press that did that. But of course, they didn't report on that part of what she said.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's always acted with a fair amount of dignity and class.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, we have some issues here with the uglification of women on screen.
Yeah, she's a good-looking girl.
She's one of the more prominent victims of that. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
sure. They put her in a potato sack, you know, and had her, you know, sticking the black guy with a cattle prod. I mean,
Well, or essaying him, you know,
Oh, yeah,
after
the great kiss.
yes, saying the dumbest philosophy of all time until the next movie.
Oh, and didn't she hit him with her space car? I guess that's
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's an Asian driver. It was
Yeah.
understandable.
I'm saying that's consistent.
Tran is a they them now. Really? Oh, prof.
So she added an S to her name.
Yay.
Okay. It's not going to get made then. Yes.
Nope, it's not getting made.
We should just go to Vegas anyway. But okay. Let's. I can't remember what's next. Do we want to do this?
Oh, adjusted for inflation. Hell yes, let's go.
This is
Okay. These are the highest grossing films ever, adjusted for inflation. Number 10, Force Awakens, 2.58 bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so think about what was happening at the time. I mean, for everybody with wearing rose-colored glasses, not
10 years ago. Fuck.
Oh yeah, but
Jeez.
we you know, we were tired of Lucas being in charge. He had overstayed his welcome. He had you know, beclowned himself in many ways, and we thought, okay, Disney's going to buy this, and Disney had a track record of, you know, putting out good, solid movies and IPs and all that right at the time. And here we go. What they do is they bring in, you know, Jar Jar Abrams, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. Oh, he's just he said that while he was doing Star Trek to explain why his Star Trek movies suck. But he comes in and we get the first one, and all it is a bad remake of the original Star Wars.
Yeah, but everyone went to see it.
But it's,
and they're like, and they're coming out because again,
like
by the
Star
way,
Wars film now.
it had been a while since we had a Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Right? Scarcity. Oh, look, it has a value. People are excited. Here you go, and all that. They then saw this and they're like, you know, it was all right. Okay, you know, it was okay. And then I think as they thought about more, realized, you know, this might not be as good, but we'll see. Then came the trailers for Last Jedi, and oh my gosh, everybody was excited right up until they saw the movie. Oops, here we go. Right. And you just see, you know, decreasing returns every time the movie came out.
Yeah, and I've never been a huge fan of JJ, but I sort of thought that Star Wars was kind of in his wheelhouse. He sort of comes up with the set pieces first and works around it. And
he got sideswiped.
The hell with that. He was incompetent from the get-go. He wrote this first.
He did not have a proper plan.
JJ does not need any excusing. He made a mess.
If I remember,
none of them had a proper plan.
No.
Originally, when George Lucas first penned his, you know, mass script, it had to be broken up into parts because he couldn't make it. So the first one he did, he broke up and made 4, 5, 6. And then he had a plan for 1, 2, 3 to lead into 4, 5, 6. And from everything I've heard, he left a plan for 7, 8, 9, which Disney just threw out. And then they got rid of all the extended universe stuff, which the fans had been, you know, drooling over for, you know, 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah, decades.
You know, and you had sort of like all the LucasArts computer games and all those stories as well. And all of it was just wiped out.
Yeah, LucasArts was killed like in the first year of acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good work.
Number 9 is
Dr. Zhivago.
Dr. Zhivago.
2.61 bill.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a reason that my wife's name is Lara, Lara. It's because of this movie.
It's, you know, and it's, if you've never seen it, it's very hard to explain, but it's a proper traditional
Epic.
You know, epic love story, and the bit, and there's that's all like the sleigh riding away at the end and running up the house and looking out for her, and you just see nothing, and it's really chilling. It's very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was a wee lad, and my grandmother took me to see it, and it's an amazing film.
Yep. You cannot escape Laura's theme if you grew up in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think
Or 60s.
We should probably revisit a few of these anyway. Okay. Number 8, 1956, 10 Commandments.
Let my people go.
Moses and the Israelites think they can intimidate my father.
Another epic.
Yes.
You know, designed to be a huge movie. Hundreds of extras, you know, massive. There wasn't set pieces and sort of like huge sets and that on location shooting, and it was big. It was huge.
when you saw a crowd of 10,000 people, it was 10,000 people.
It was 10,000 people, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember this when this would air on like broadcast TV. This was an event. People would just okay, don't call me on Sunday because we're going to be sitting and watching 3 hours of the 10 Commandments. Let's go.
Yeah, and they would air it without commercials.
Oh yeah, it would just go.
I nearly fell off my creaky chair then.
Oh my goodness.
Common people, common people are arranged. 5069.
What? Thank you, common people.
Yes.
Oh, you are beyond generous, my friend.
I mean, I want to just warn you. I want to warn you, Brown. Common People owns a majority stake in several channels on YouTube, and it looks like he may be making a hostile takeover attempt right now.
He owns the channel anyway. Here you go, folks. Hey, chat member. Is that remember?
Hey, chat
member. That should be an apostrophe. Member. When Joey said, "Oh God."
I first saw Star Wars as a special edition in theaters, even as a kid. I thought it wasn't really better than the VHS releases. Lucas actually fixed the compositing errers in the VHS releases long before the specials. I do remember that comment.
And they coming in hot because you forgot.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Common People Wrench 269. Good times.
You're 10% of the way or maybe 5% of the way to a new computer.
Yeah, I've been eyeing up a M4 Mac this week.
Okay,
what do we get
2%?
No, you can get the minis.
Number 7, 1982, E.T.
E.T. Yeah.
2.92. That would have been 3.92, but they had to pay the phone bill.
Yeah. The long distance back then was a bitch.
And the CGI turning rifles into walkie-talkies.
Oh my God!
I remember.
That's expensive.
That was another go fuck yourself and stop listening to George Lucas. He's wrong.
Ian's favorite film,
E.T.
Yeah.
You know, I remember. So E.T. When it came out, it was absolutely. I mean, it was a cultural event. You know, there's a reason we still can buy Reese's Pieces. That candy was invented for this movie. It was product placement, and here you go. But this
M&M's
movie
turned it down.
Yeah, this movie also managed to kill some classics like The Thing, Blade Runner.
Yes.
Right? They all came out around the same time, and E.T. just lawnmowered everything.
Except for Wrath of Khan, which when we would go to the theater and watch Wrath of Khan all day in between showings, we would go in and watch bits of E.T.
Yeah, I mean Wrath of Khan, but again, it was a different demographic. But even then, I assure you, had Wrath of Khan come out in like '83, probably would have had a better shot as long as it wasn't lined up against Jedi.
Yeah.
E.T. would have, sorry, not E.T., Thing would have stood a better chance if it had been out in '83.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the thing was it was a difficult sell at the time.
It was ahead of its time.
It was just ahead of its time.
You know what didn't mow over the competition? The E.T. video game.
Oh, well, I mean, it mowed down the entire video game industry.
Yeah, fair.
It was really kind of the last straw on an otherwise overloaded.
Thank you, Sly.
Sly Jester, what a spot. gifted 1 NBA membership. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Okay. So where do we get to then? So E.T., yes. So
Yep.
number
Yeah.
6, Sound of Music.
Look at 1965. You get Dr. Zhivago and The Sound of Music both pulling over $2.5 billion.
2.98 B.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
only watched Sound of Music probably with first time within the last 10 years. It was on
Really?
Christmas. What a great movie.
Yeah.
No CGI.
Yeah, people
It's
don't
entirely
realize the full scope and story of that film.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, people always forget that a certain mustachioed German and his
Yeah.
crew are involved.
It's not all just dancing in the meadows of this.
Yeah,
No.
I probably saw it very, very young, but I can't remember. But the first time I probably saw it was about 10 years ago. It's fantastic. Such a good film.
It is, yeah.
Number 5, 2019. That's Endgame Avengers. 3.27 B.
The last
Yeah.
Avengers movie.
They are never gonna Marvel Studio. They are
They're
never
not
seeing that
sniffing
again.
it. They're never
Yeah.
sniffing it. Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
never.
And oh, by the way, a bad movie. But because of everything that had gone before it to build it up, everybody had to see it.
It was end of an era, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at the time everybody thought that was it for Marvel. That was going to be the last Marvel movie.
Yeah, well, you would think. I mean, take a break, boys. Count
It
your
would
money.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
This is the bigger then. Number 4, 1977. Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
3.56 B.
Yeah, and again, this is very much the era in which it came out, because look at the movie landscape throughout the 70s, right? It's all very nihilistic. There's dark and sad, and you have anti-heroes and all that stuff. And then this hopeful motherfucker shows up, and everybody is like, "Oh yes, have some." Right? It's like being in a desert, and you suddenly find an oasis with a cool spring, and people would not leave. I mean, again, this was continuously in movie theaters until Empire.
Yeah, and before this, every
Really?
movie was just trying to be Easy Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typing. Okay, so that was Star Wars. This always goes down well in my house. Number 3, 1977. Titanic.
I got the song in my head now. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
One of my guilty pleasures. I love the theme tune. 3.68 B.
This showed the power of women,
Yeah.
because oh my God, women were dragging men to see this thing.
Yeah, do you remember what the original poster looked like before the video came out and they were selling it as a romance? It was a disaster movie at first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They
It
had
showed the
the-
ship actually sinking, didn't it?
Yeah, they had
Yep.
the big gray bulkhead just going down into the water, and then was it Celine Dion hits and
Oh, you're getting me going.
We know that our Brune will go on.
Well, A Night to Remember is a great movie as well. You know, the original Titanic movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
A
yeah.
Night to
Well,
Remember.
the British, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah, it
movie as
is. And really well shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the sequel to Titanic didn't do so well.
No.
Was
There
that
really
Raised
was.
the Titanic?
No, there was a movie called Titanic 2, and
Yeah.
it was bad.
Raise the Titanic is also hilarious.
Yeah. Titanic 2 is also hilarious, but it's a really terrible movie.
That's where all the money for Space 1999 season 3 went. Okay, moving on. Number 2, 2009 Avatar.
I hate this.
I don't remember.
3.96B.
Well, it was a hell of a tech demo.
Yeah,
yeah, I knew a movie came out and I saw it, but I have no memory.
I've said this about Avatar. It looked good. Everyone will comment on the fact it was a beautiful movie.
Yep.
And nothing else about it is memorable at all.
I went to see it on a proper IMAX in 3D. Bear in mind, it was 2009. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Tell me about the story. That's what I thought. Yeah.
I remember a big ship staring down the gantry with lots of ladders and
there's blue people
3D.
and they're attacked by
big
giant
spaceships.
Yep. Big
And-
hit with the furry community.
Stephen,
I'm
what's
thinking of
his
the Smurfs.
face as the sergeant thing?
It's insane. For Avatar, they wanted an unearthly feel, so they actually got someone called a xenomusicologist. They paid millions of pounds to have this woman go around the world and get all sorts of random and peculiar music from places you wouldn't think of. So things like, goat herder tunes and, places out in deepest Africa and Peru and stuff.
The Bulgarian chanting, that's always a big one. But
Exactly.
Mongolian throat
this
singing
huge-
and
she never even left the planet. How lazy is that?
Yeah, I know what the hell.
Alien music
Also,
and
all
best
of this
bit-
exists.
Yeah.
We had ethnographers go out and record this set starting in like the 1920s.
Yeah, but she wrote all of this, and she also came up with the idea. They've only got 3 fingers, so they would actually play instruments with a pentatonic scale rather than an octatic scale, which we have because we got more fingers. But she did all of this, and she came back, and was it Cameron, the guy?
James Cameron.
Director guy. He looked at it. It was sort of like 100-page document about it, and went, "No, I prefer an orchestra sound."
Yeah,
And
go
so
away.
just went back to a normal.
Can we name a
Western
character
orchestra.
other than Sully?
only 3 fingers. Why couldn't they get 4 fingers? That so
I saw
close.
he did that. Very good.
So
Saw he did
close.
that. Yeah, common
Well-
people feel robbed with 3 fingers, wouldn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, I mean, if they
Well-
went with a pentatonic scale, why didn't they just do all of the script as iambic pentameter? What the hell?
You know, most guitarists only play pentatonic too, so
Yeah.
just
There
they
are
have 10
3
fingers. But
Fingers.
Only 3 fingers.
Okay. Number 1,
do they have a thumb?
1939. Don't know. Gone with the Wind.
Yes.
For the
4
undisputed champ.
Yeah. It just stands.
4.34. I don't think I've seen Gone with the
Oh
Wind
my God,
in its
Jesus.
entirety. I think I've seen clips. I can't remember seeing it. in
It is a
one
beautiful
sitting.
romance. There's a reason why it was so well received, and it's a reason why it's still talked about nearly 100
Yep.
years later.
Frankly, Mr. Brown, I don't
I
give
don't
a
give a
damn.
damn.
Damn. Oh, classic.
Don't
Yep.
they have trigger warnings on it now?
Oh, I thought they
Oh, I'm
canceled
sure.
Sound of Music, isn't it? Yeah, half of these they won't even show without
Yeah.
some kind of censorship.
Yeah. Yeah, Gone with the Wind just stands astride cinema like a colossus. I mean, if you take away the earnings and figure out like ticket prices and how many butts in seats were there,
Yeah.
oh my Lord, it is huge, especially in comparison to the population. Like,
Yeah.
look at all these movies and go, okay, percentage of population that the attendance would represent.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 95% of the Hollywood writers haven't even seen any of these past Avatar.
Avatar.
You also have to remember that up
Oh,
until
in-game.
into the 1980s, there wasn't, digital. It was all the films had to be printed and then shipped out to each of the theaters. So it was, it was a major operation. And then once you got up to sort of like Avatar, you just downloaded a file onto a USB stick and stuck it in the side of a projector.
Well, I mean that starts with Lucas with the prequels. I think it's the second one that's all digital.
Yeah, but it's so different back then. There was so much more work involved in just getting people to go and see Gone with the Wind to begin with as well.
So it's more of a logistics problem.
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, if you're a movie theater and you had the option of essentially like leasing the film, right, which means you return it to the studio afterwards, or you bought it outright. Well, if you bought it outright, you had display rights for it because you owned it, right? And so Gone with the Wind, you could go see it in the 50s. You go see it in the 60s. Right. And it wasn't, we're doing a special release. No. There were theaters that owned that print.
They owned the print. And
and I worked in a movie theater when I was a teenager, and those film cans weigh like 80 pounds.
Yeah,
there's a reason why
light.
the girls never dragged the movies upstairs.
James Gone with the Wind was color to begin with.
That's 86 years old. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck. And on that bombshell.
Well, and I think this also demonstrates look at like some of the ages of these movies, right? The importance of cinema for the culture, because what we didn't have is a lot of national like broadcast TV. In 39, not so much. Right? The common cultural component that we could all reference were movies. They were spread all over everywhere, right? That was what you had before you had, the big 3 channels that broadcast nationally, because everything else otherwise was localized, right? But when you had an epic event like Gone with the Wind, you could go anywhere in any part of the country, in the U.S. or in England or in a lot of places, and be like, oh, and Scarlett O'Hara, oh yes, we know exactly. Yes, we know what you're talking about. Rhett Butler, hell yes, I know who that is. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Would have been heard anywhere.
Yeah. After all,
Yeah, and,
tomorrow is another day.
Okay, I'm going
And
to say
Cecil B. DeMille invented the epic, sort of the reimagine the epic for the 60s, like with 10 Commandments and Spartacus and
50s and
I think we need some proper epics like that instead of a CGI schlock.
You're not going to get it. No,
Okay.
no one will do that again. Did you know when they did Ben-Hur and they actually had the horses race, there was actually, I think it was $1,000 prize on the line for whoever won, and they got told just do anything you can to win, which is why it looks so gritty, because they were actually
they're actually looking to get their bonus. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Brown, I have a heart out, so I need to say
we're finished. We're finished. Chat, I'm going to give you some homework. A few of the guys have not seen some of their movies. Pick one movie, and I think the homework would be to educate yourself with a bit of a classic, yeah?
And come back to chat and educate the rest of us.
Yes. Okay. Come back and tell us what you watched. So I think that was it, folks. Let's get the guests up. So, chat, you are wonderful. Thank you. Short notice this evening, folks, but I kind of thought you knew we would be here. So thank you for the interaction, the unbelievably generous super chats, and guys, what can I say? It's fantastic. So we will see you next time. I'll just say there are 4 fingers. Okay. I will thank the guests. Emperor Goodwin. Cheers, my friend. Thanks for stepping in, mate. Cheers.
Oh, lovely. I always enjoy being on Mr. Brown Alliance.
We got warmed up eventually, but it was good. Thank you, my friend. Istaphobos. Cheers, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Hey, chat. Thanks. It's still the best chat on YouTube.
Amazing.
Come and say hi to me on Twitter at Istaphobos.
And last but by no means least, Daredevil Helpdesk. Cheers, Grant.
Adios, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit, farewell.
Hasta luego. And Mr. Brown, that is it, folks. Sorry, wrong. Do that. Here we go. I'm going to be back tomorrow doing the modding for Open Bar. Is Trev doing Friday? Do we know? I think Trev's doing Friday.
No, he's got Easter off. He'll be back.
Oh, is he on Jollies?
I think it's Monday 20 something or other.
Okay, so look out for Trev at some point, folks. That is it, folks. We will see you Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Timing.
Timing.